That was pretty badass.
Big question on my mind. So Cersei reveals in that last episode that Euron, like when he told that whole meeting that he was going to go back to the Iron Islands and wait until everybody was dead, and then Cersei's like, "Oh, you thought he actually did that, Jaime? You're an idiot. He's sailing to go pick up that mercenary company." So Theon's going to go rescue his sister,
Right.
and he thinks that she's in the Iron Islands, so he's going to go to the complete wrong place.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to resolve that. I'm guessing they're just going to say, "Oh, well, Euron was keeping her imprisoned on the Iron Islands," but who knows? But anyway, just number 2 moment for me. I'm going to go with the Oberyn Martell versus the Mountain fight. Yeah. That was awesome. I mean, I still, every time I watch it, I'm hoping that Oberyn is just going to, the Red Viper, he's just going to actually kill the Mountain instead of taunting him, and then he gets his skull crushed and his head explodes everywhere. But one of the best fight scenes ever. Single combat, that was awesome. I love that scene.
My number 1 overall, throughout all seasons, I think this is a lot of people's favorite, is when Arya decided to slit. Yeah, that's the right. Slit, little finger, little foot. I always call him Little Foot.
Little Foot, that's the dinosaur from Land Before Time.
Little finger's throat there on the last episode. I think everybody loved it. Little finger, foot. God bless. I always call him Little Foot. Everybody lived for that because he was a jackass. Nobody liked him. So that, I think, that's a lot of people's number 1.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of the more predictable deaths in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we knew that was coming, but...
Yeah, but still, very satisfying. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of sad to see the downfall of Littlefinger because for the first, chunk of the show in general, he was one of the most devious, careful characters who planned out everything, and, he was always one step ahead, and all of a sudden he just gets outwitted by Arya and Sansa, a little bit unbelievable, but, he had to die.
He thought he had the show by the balls, though, when he thought he was turning Arya against Sansa the entire time. Mm-hmm. And then they just, you're dead. You're dead.
Okay, my number 1, I think it's just probably the coolest shot in general, is Jon Snow when he tries to save his little brother Rickon. Ramsay shoots him with the arrow. I don't know why Rickon wasn't running Serpentine. Probably because he's an idiot. But Jon Snow is just like, okay, I'm off my horse. There's a million people charging at me. I'm just going to stand here and face them all. And then that scene, or that one shot where Jon is standing there ready to strike. I mean, he's going to die, obviously. But then his cavalry rushes in from behind and just you get this huge clash. One of the coolest shots of all time. I love that. So I'm going to go with that as my number 1 moment. Obviously, I guess you knew Jon was safe because they had brought him back from the dead so recently. You knew that they weren't going to kill him off again. We're kind of getting into an area of the show where it feels like everybody's safe because they're all so important to the show. But that's where I feel the most vulnerable because as soon as I think people are safe, that's when everybody dies. So who knows what's going to happen in the last season? But we're all looking forward to it. It's going to be a year and a half, 2 years. Who knows?
Yeah. 552 days.
It's going to be rough. But yeah, that's the dealio. So those are our rankings for the day. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you watch Game of Thrones. I'm assuming if if you're living and breathing. Oh yeah, we probably should have put a spoiler warning in there.
Spoiler.
Oh well, spoiler alert. Retroactively. Hope you've caught up with Game of Thrones. If you haven't,
well, now you know.
We apologize. Hey, Pat, were you all caught up with Game of Thrones? Yeah. Okay, good.
Side note, back to baseball real fast.
Real fast.
Clayton Kershaw giving up 4 runs tonight, pushing his ERA to 2.16. Scherzer sitting at 2.19. We might have a back-to-back Cy Young.
Getting close. All right, let's wrap the show up with Husker Do's and Husker Don'ts. Then we got to go to bed.
From a perspective of, I don't know. It makes it a lot easier for me. Husker Do's and Husker Don'ts are really hard.
From the perspective of somebody who's making dinner. You're cooking dinner.
Husker don't. I don't really know. Husker don't stand over the shoulder of the chef, because the chef.
Is that a little jab at me?
No, not at all. Because you like your sausages cooked one way, and I understand. But just don't give the chef some space. Sometimes they just want to do their own thing, and some people enjoy cooking. Let them enjoy it. You don't got to be over their shoulder. Just let them do it.
I'm gonna go Husker do. Have some variety in your meals when you're cooking. I mean, I think a lot of people take pride in being able to, grill something up, being able to put something in a skillet, being able to cook. But if you're preparing a meal for others, if you really want it to look good, you want it to present well, have some color to that plate. Have a vegetable ready. You got to have all your major food groups represented. You want to have the starch, you want to have your protein, and you want to have your veggies in there too. A little bit weird to put fruit in a dinner. I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe as a little dessert. If you have a little fruit cup for dessert, if you're hosting a dinner, go for it, man. I think that's a great call.
Husker do. Add some spice to it. Anything you do. I'm just a huge fan of hot sauce. So if there's any chance that hot sauce can go on the meal that you're eating, a huge fan of it. Husker do. Find your go-to hot sauce, whether it's homemade, whether it's Tabasco, Cholula, anything. Cholula bringing the heat. So, find your go-to hot sauce and run with it.
Now's a good time to insert our new sponsor, Firestarter. It's a hot sauce shipment company. They're going to send you 1,800 hot sauces, just one drop of the hot sauce, for a simple price of $9.99 a year. You pay $9.99 a year with our promo code. Jack Corey is the best podcast ever invented of all time. DC Sportscast Daily is not our name. It's DC Sports Daily Podcast. You just enter that promo code one time on Firestarter, then pay $9.99 plus shipping and handling, which is going to be about $1,000. Check made payable to Jack Maestri or Corey Thesson. You pay that check for $9.99 plus shipping and handling, which could be whatever I just said it could be, and you're going to be shipped a nice box of 1,800, I think that's what I said, hot sauces, one drop of each. You can put it on anything you want. You can put it on your celery, you can put it on your broccoli, you can put it on your chicken, you can put it on your pork, you can put it on your veal. Hey, you can put it on your popcorn, you can put it on your ice cream. I don't care what you put it on. You put that drop of hot sauce on anything you want. They're 1,800 unique hot sauces.
How's your Husker Don't going?
Oh, I know what my Husker Don't is. I was just making sure we got our ad read in. So, enter that promo code that I said earlier that I can't remember now because I made it up off the top of my head, and you'll get 1,800 drops of hot sauce.
Magic number 4.
Magic number's down to 4. Miami lost. Husker Don't put off the post-cook cleanup until way late. You don't want to deal with that later. After you cook, if you're done with something in the kitchen and you have time to just clean it up real quick, just clean it, put it in the dishwasher, let it soak. Do something, because you don't want, there's nothing worse than cooking a meal, working hard to cook a meal, eating that meal, eating the whole meal, and then just looking at your kitchen and being like, oh,
I don't want to do this.
I'm full.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch Netflix, or I'm just gonna watch football, and I'm not gonna clean that. But guess what? Those dishes aren't gonna get cleaned for a week. So don't put that off. Just do it while you're still thinking about it. Do it while you're still motivated to do it, while you're in cook mode, because that's part of being a cook. That's part of being a chef. You gotta clean up your own utensils. That's just part of the deal. If you want to hire somebody to do it, don't.
All right.
Because it's pretty damn easy. That's all I gotta say. Sorry for that little pause there. But I think that's our show.
Yep. Final thought. Search us. It's no longer DC Sports Daily P1. Went ahead and switched it so it's a little bit easier to find us. If you just search DC Sports Daily, you'll find us. We're the one with DC Sports _Daily.
That is at DC Sports _Daily.
Yep. So just go ahead and if you search DC Sports Daily, you'll find us, rather than having to search DC Sports Daily Podcast or DC Sports Daily P1.
All right. as always, you can email us at dcsportsdailypodcast@gmail.com. Give us your comments, give us your concerns, give us your critiques. Find us on Apple Podcasts. You can just go to the search bar in your iPhone. If you're using a Samsung or some Android, I'm sorry. I don't think we're on your podcast.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, you can go to Spreaker, I guess.
There you go.
I don't know. Yeah, find us on Spreaker. That's where we're at. That's our home base. Honestly, shout out to Spreaker. Yep. They've been huge for us since day one. Shout out to Nick, my brother, who suggested Spreaker to us. That's how we record every episode. That's how we come to you. That's where our RSS feed comes from. That's the way that we're able to reach out to you. But if you do have an iPhone or an iTunes account in general, go to Apple Podcasts, switch your little iTunes browser to podcasts to get to Apple Podcasts. Search DC Sports Daily. Find us, comment, rate, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. And, just keep on tuning in. We're going to keep coming to you every day. Even though tonight, Corey can tell you.
I didn't really want to do it.
Yeah, he didn't want to record. I didn't really, it was getting late. I got an early morning. Corey's got an early morning, but that's the way that it's got to be. So we're coming to you every day, and we really appreciate you listening. And that's that. That's the show. And Corey, anything else? All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. God bless you.
Good night.
Good night.
Let me tell you a story about Corey and Jack. Some people think that their podcast is whack, but me and Chris Jensen, good old Miss Chops, well, we gotta give Corey and Jack some mad props. Talking about sports, wearing basketball shorts, dipping tobacco and being wacko. And let's not forget about Sweet Husker Du, 'cause he loves everyone, even you, Miss Chops. Oh, Miss Chops, won't you marry me? Oh, Miss Chops, won't you drink my pee? Drink my pee. Shout out to Bernie Sanders.